We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter.
You trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. I think it's let's go in here and make this money. It's more of a business tactic than anything.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some power.
At the press conference, Gervonta Davis raised attention when he directly threatened Jake Paul with a harsh warning. He made it clear that he plans to finish the fight brutally and leave no doubts about the outcome. Davis declared that he's coming to knock Jake out and take the bag, showing full confidence in his power and determination.
He's a fighter that just started fighting. That's, you know how when somebody first come in the gym and yeah. When somebody first come in the gym and they've been coming for like a little minute, so they think they nice now. They ain't get all the everything down packed, but that's how he fight. I don't think he's an awkward fighter. Awkward is somebody, I don't want to call them names, but awkward is different from him. He's not awkward. We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter.
Eddie Hearn did not hold back when sharing his opinion about the highly unusual matchup between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. He explained that there's a huge difference between genuine boxing and staged entertainment, and this fight falls firmly in the latter category. For him, it's not a test of skill or sporting credibility, but rather a spectacle designed to generate attention. Hearn even laughed at the idea, calling it hilarious, and stressed that people should not confuse such exhibitions with professional boxing at the highest level. His reaction reflects the growing concern among traditional promoters that entertainment-based fights are overshadowing the essence of the sport.
We're getting Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However, you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers.
Ariel Helwani offered a contrasting perspective, pointing out that fans often accept and even enjoy unconventional spectacles in MMA, yet react negatively when something similar appears in boxing. According to Helwani, this is an unfair double standard. He believes that while the Davis versus Paul fight may not be traditional boxing, it still has entertainment value. Helwani emphasized that the fight shouldn't be judged by the same standards as title bouts or sanctioned events, but seen as a one-off show. For him, if people can embrace spectacle fights in other combat sports, boxing fans should be able to enjoy this contest without excessive criticism.
Fight at generally, I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. How much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pizzi? In MMA, we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree, right, or no?
Yeah. The idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental what we're going to watch here. I think where people get annoyed with Jake is like, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. Like this is every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs, and this is ridiculous. As long as why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'll be like, this is fucking ridiculous, and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like he's winding us up. He's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
Sonnen was far more critical, dismissing Jake Paul's ability as a boxer. He argued that the Paul brothers are not known for real boxing skills, but instead rely on fame and wealth to secure fights with big names. Sonnen highlighted the pattern of Jake Paul choosing opponents who are legends or respected fighters, despite the clear imbalance in technical expertise. According to him, these bouts aren't about fairness or competitive balance, but about using money and influence to grab attention. Sonnen's sharp critique reflects the opinion of many who see this fight as a money-driven event rather than a genuine clash of boxing talent.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're going to do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're going to spot us some pounds. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am in abundance of and of which you have none of. Tank is telling anybody that will listen that there's a size problem. My skills and my experience in boxing, I do not have to wonder who's in the bar tonight. Any bar I go to, I rule the bar. No, it turns out that you don't. Just need some big guy to corner you, apparently. Boxing has never stood its ground. Boxing has never been able to explain why Floyd needed a half hour to get rid of a guy who's never boxed before. Hank Davis has already began this. When you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he goes out and acts like a dum-dum.
The size difference between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul is one of the most debated issues surrounding this exhibition. Davis is a natural lightweight, while Paul fights closer to cruiserweight, making the weight gap massive. This has led to speculation that the match could already be predetermined. Analysts argue that no matter what the result is, the fight benefits Jake Paul far more than Davis. If Jake wins, he gains credibility by beating a star boxer. If Davis wins, critics will dismiss it as irrelevant due to the size mismatch. These suspicions have fueled rumors that the outcome may already be fixed to favor Paul's career trajectory.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
But you don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
That's
what I'm saying.
Jake Paul,
he's a little man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a weighted one.
Ryan Garcia compared this event to previous controversial matchups in boxing history, such as when Mike Tyson fought exhibitions that fans never really asked for. Garcia admitted that the public doesn't want Davis versus Paul either, but noted that sometimes the boxing world pushes forward with these spectacles regardless. He stressed that Davis is much smaller than Paul, making the fight unfair from the start. Garcia's view is that even though fans may feel uncomfortable with the matchup, they'll ultimately accept it because of the hype and financial incentives driving it.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight. Yeah. You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound for pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis he's actually really small. Like when I fought him, like, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
Jake Paul added fuel to the fire by taunting Gervonta Davis with one of his signature publicity stunts. In a video, Paul destroyed a cake shaped like Davis as a way of mocking his opponent. The act was designed to humiliate and provoke Davis, but also generated significant online buzz. Paul, always a master of promotion, achieved his goal by making headlines and adding to the rivalry narrative. The destruction of the tank-shaped cake reminded fans that Paul thrives on mind games and spectacle as much as actual fighting. Watching Gervonta Davis step into the ring against someone as large as Jake Paul will be surreal. The size difference is almost comical, but Davis does have major advantages in skill, speed, and defensive ability. His footwork allows him to move quickly around the ring and avoid heavy shots, while Paul will try to use his size and reach. Landing clean punches on a smaller, slick opponent like Davis could prove difficult. Davis's defense and counterpunching may open opportunities despite the weight and height gap. The intrigue of this fight comes down to one simple dynamic: skill versus size.